Hi. Okay, so just some information about attorneys for your practice and what you can use them for and what they can be helpful for. A lot of people use them most commonly for their paperwork and to make sure that their informed consent and their financial agreement and that intake paperwork is all covering all the bases, and also you're not putting things in your paperwork that is illegal or against your board or saying something in there that you actually can't withhold. And each state is different, each license is different, and each profession is different in regards to what type of information you have to have in your informed consent and in regards to the ethics and guidelines around that. Another thing people use an attorney for would be just to make sure that all their malpractice or their general liability or renter's insurance or whatever type of insurance you have for your practice is actually giving you the appropriate coverage, because you want to actually make sure that you're paying your insurance, paying for malpractice insurance that's actually going to cover your fees. So if you get, really making sure with your malpractice insurance that if you get subpoenaed, that your malpractice insurance is actually going to cover your fees for a consultation with an attorney, or that they give you a free consultation with an attorney, or different things in regards to making sure that you have some part of licensure defense from them, and that we're not just paying for malpractice insurance and not really getting the appropriate coverage. So that's something that an attorney can kind of help you sort out. And then some people just like having a local attorney, like a relationship with a local attorney, just in case they get a subpoena, just in case they have some legal question or whatever it may be. So they already have a relationship with someone, so they don't have to go searching and go through all this hecticness when it's already kind of hectic if you do get a subpoena and things like that. So the only individual local to Louisville that I've found that I really like and have talked to before and really trust is Mark, and I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Brangelman. He does a lot of work with licensed professional clinical counselors, but he has a lot of experience in health law. He does a lot of paperwork review, so informed consents, financial agreements, intake paperwork. He reviews a lot of that. He doesn't have you don't have to pay him like a retainer. A lot of attorneys require you to pay them to keep them on retainer. He just has an hourly fee for his services, or he has a kind of flat rate for his legal consults and to do that paperwork review. So I would recommend his services. I am going to update the OneDrive information for those of you who have access to it with some information from him in regards to tips and tricks and different things he has for paperwork. But it's just smart to kind of get in contact and be in communication with an attorney, in my opinion. Again, I was in communication with some other attorneys prior to meeting Mark, who I think, really weren't trying to do harm and were probably pretty good business attorneys, but they were not familiar with mental health. They were not familiar, with licenses, and that I'm not a doctor, or that I don't run my practice like doctors do. So it's really important to find someone who understands mental health or understands your field and is able to look at your practice, your paperwork, and give you advice based off of that lens, opposed to just giving you the really broad business advice or really broad healthcare advice. because there's tons of healthcare attorneys out there, but maybe they specialize in large corporations or in hospitals. And obviously the way we run our practice is going to be very different than how a hospital runs. So making sure that the attorney that you do find does specialize in small businesses and specializes in mental health care or your profession, and definitely at the healthcare umbrella, that's going to be really helpful, because again, they're just going to be able to be more specific and more honed in with you. Just like we niche down for our clientele, attorneys do that too. So it's helpful to find one that does that. And again, the only one I've kind of come across so far is Mark Brengelman, and he does a lot of advertising with like APA and the Psychological Association, as well as with the Licensed Professional Board. And I think he maybe said social worker. Yeah, he had mentioned that he would be open to kind of chatting with anyone if they wanted to. And I think he maybe does. I'm not totally certain on this, but I think he maybe does like a free consult in regards to what you're looking for out of attorney and how he can help you with your paperwork or just with specific questions. But I'll put his email in the chat so you can reach out if you want to. And I'm sure he has a website, so you can just Google Mark Brengelman. But yeah, I'll put some comments down below as well with resources and just different things in regards to attorneys and your private practice. But let me know if you have any questions. And of course, and as always, I will try to get them answered and help you.